A very good evening to our viewers and welcome to the 1873 TV, Your Vision, Your Power. My name is Tinashe Mpasiri. This evening on the 1873 TV, we bring you another insightful and informative show. And this evening, it's the 1873 Mentees Circle, where we're looking at a mentorship framework. How as individuals we can be able to build communities, how we can be able to build institutions that can best serve us. Joining me in the discussion, I am joined by one of the founding members of the 1873 network, Mr. Mawere. Mr. Mawere, a very good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
I'm also joined by members of the 1873 network, starting from the left, Simba Kabara. Simba, a very good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Tinashe.
Kenyiwe, a very good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Tintin.
And Desire Kimbuzi, a very good evening and welcome to the show.
My man. It's good to be here.
My man.
It is indeed great to have you on the show with us, as well as those of you individuals out there who happen to be on our social media platforms. That it could be the 1873 mentorship program. If you would like to partake or participate in this conversation that we're having, please don't hesitate to do so. You can simply get hold of us through Skype. The Skype ID is the 1873 TV, or simply you can make use of Facebook Messenger. If you happen to be connected to Mutumwa D. Mawere, then you can call via Facebook Messenger and be part of this conversation that we'll be having. So, very fundamental lessons that we've been drawing from the since the morning, from the Continental Sunrise Breakfast Show to pushing the envelope of knowledge on financial, pushing the envelope of knowledge, as well as shifting the paradigm.
I like the synergy and the flow of things today, actually.
Absolutely, because it is these programs at the end of the day that also, as individuals, we can draw valuable lessons that we can use in order to build communities, to build institutions.
You know what I like about today's topic? It says, how do we build communities of shared interests and understanding? That in itself speaks volumes. And I wanted to actually, with my first question, I wanted to take it from one of the mentees that are part of our group, Owen. He asked the question and then we shared a link with him, the very first episode that we did. And this is his question, right? And statement. And I know that a lot of you have this kind of question, but if you were watching the Q&A session on Saturday, 2 o'clock, most of these questions were actually pretty much answered. But he said, this is his comment: I ought to get acquainted with the pattern of tutorship in this program. To
Okay, that's one.
That's one.
That's the normal question people ask.
Yes.
Is I want to be acquainted. But when you are born into a community, what should be your first responsibility? To be myself in a community. That nobody has got an obligation to teach me to be a member of society. I have to do what I have to do with my own feet. So first, who is going to acquaint you?
You.
Imagine you join a church 1 year after it is built. What is your responsibility? How do we build institutions? How do you build communities? Do you build communities by being one-on-one? Somebody telling you, where is this highway where communities can use and build relationships that would then allow you to find everything you want in that community. So community building is so old that even human beings discovered, like animals, that they must be interdependent, they must be interrelated, and they must actually be complementary. So if you are not part of the church excludes you. So you can't go and get acquainted minus you. When you are there, it means the church's character and personality will reflect you, the individual. But imagine we set up a network and some people want to operate outside it and yet want to benefit from it.
Like, it doesn't work, right?
It doesn't work.
You want the benefits, but you don't want to.
You don't want to associate, but you want to be a part of the outcome of
Ready
it.
to pay.
But you're draining some people's power. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
So it means that part of the challenge which he faces, Owen, is that he's an architect. He's a member of the Association of Architects. And that's what allows him to practice.
Yes.
Absent this association, what is an architect?
Exactly. You know, for instance, now that we're connecting, I want to build a house. I can actually request Owen to actually write the structure and everything and draw down the plan for my house because now we are associated.
No, but that's
So it's not
another
just-
service. But
yeah.
imagine soccer without association,
You know what I mean?
The government
Without the
without
network.
without PSL.
Without the network.
Huh?
It's-
So imagine I then want to go to Danny Jordan and Safa, and I want to have a relationship. Tinashe, let me talk to you. About what? Because if you are part of the conversation, it means the character of the network will reflect you. But how many people want to be told? How many people want to be owned? How many people want to be led? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he carries on to say, to what particular scope does the basis of this group belong to?
Okay, he's already asking somebody to explain. Every question he's raising, he must have an answer. But why is he raising a question to another person when he is the answer himself?
Are there any milestones we need to reach? Are we at any point going to bear audience to an experienced player in the business fraternity? Or is it just another mere debating platform?
I'm saying it can be a debating club or it can be something absent you. But if you are the one who values all these players, you would be the change that you want to see. The idea is what you invest in. So once you invest in the idea, then you will be the person answering the question.
And the last part is to the pioneers of this group.
Now
please
already there is a
shed-
pioneer, like Tinashe is saying founding. What is a founding member? There is no founding
That is
member.
why everyone is
It's
grouped.
like a ANC is a certain, we are all created equal. Yet in our thinking, we already put other people above others.
To the pioneers of this group, please shed light on this inquiry.
Shed light. We don't know where we are going and we are supposed to be shed light. But with you,
We know.
we will be able to share as a group because the group will reflect you. But how many people blame others? They say NC this, bowling club that, soccer is not managed. But get involved
Be a team player.
and be a problem solver.
It's all about finger pointing.
Yeah.
Blame and shame. And the last one, last but not least, how and what are the members of this group supposed to achieve at the
Supposed to
end
be
of the day?
achieved. Be a member of something, then contribute to to defining it. If you are pro-social, be social. Include people. That's what I'm saying. Bring your own friends. I bring my own friends. And all of us bring our own friends. Then we can use each other to have the excuse of meeting.
So
But we don't meet one-on-one because it's expensive.
We find a reason to meet,
Yeah,
and then we network.
that's right.
Move forward.
We move
Then
forward.
you move forward because you are part of the solution. But the moment you say, build the community first, then invite me to be a human being. Imagine South Africa got an invitation card. America says, come to America. Then he says, what are going to be my benefits to come to America? He said, my friends,
I like what you,
What's one for me?
like what you
What's
said,
for me?
Mr. M. You said we must go to the UK and confuse
Yeah.
everyone just for a week.
so the country does not invite you.
Yes.
Even to come here, you can't be invited to do that which you are interested in. Either you have an interest or you don't have an interest. But the moment you have to be invited to be a citizen and to think and act like a citizen, then you are no longer, imagine somebody comes to you and says, how should I vote? How do you want me to vote?
Yeah,
Get on with the job
very true.
of being a citizen. If one of the rights is to vote, just do vote.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to get ahead and you believe that Mawere is a bridge
Yeah.
to you, please be the change.
That you
Use
want to
him.
see.
Some people use roads. They call the country Rhodesia. And why they were calling Rhodesia? Because they were creating a network around him. They were just using roads. Did roads benefit from it? No.
I think it also boils down to what I shared with regards to what Andrew said. That with whatever it is that you are doing as a person, as an individual, you must take on these three things, or look at these three things. Number one, the objective. Number two, the timeline or time frame. Number three, your risk appetite. Because if you've got a high risk appetite, then you will take more risk and say, you know what, I'm taking this leap of faith, I'm going to register, I'm going to do this and that. It's not just about this Mentee cycle, but it's about you in general. What other things are you doing and investing in as a person? If your risk appetite is high, definitely you're going to take risk and you're going to take on challenges and you're going to, but to take the bull by the horns. You're going to take it on. It all boils down to you.
So I think, yeah, okay.
Well, I just wanted to add on something as far as building communities is concerned, and more importantly, as individuals, we are interdependent. Tony Elumelu once said that talents I do not possess, I do not regret. I surround myself with such, and hence the importance of what? Of an association, of a network. If I know something that you don't know, then you can always leverage on that. As Mr. Mawere was stating that Mr. Mawere can be a bridge of opportunity for you. And if you believe so, then use that bridge. And I believe that at the end of the day, when we are connected, I know that as an individual, I can benefit from each and every one of you. Because I cannot know everything. I cannot possess everything. But however,
It's about complement each other.
yes, we will complement each other. Whatever you're skilled in, when we combine it and we have a common
Power.
interest,
Power.
we can be able to achieve this objective
I like
of
that.
building these communities of shared interest.
Exactly, boils down to our topic. How do we build communities of shared understanding? Exactly, it's even evident in the breakfast show. Like when it comes to shares, remember how you shared some light with regards to property and shares, and we were listening because not that it's your forte, but you made sure that you introduced us to what you know, and it wrapped on for the whole entire team. Something practical. Nje.
So,
So if you look at what Eric Lowe, which is what we're learning last week,
yes,
he said, what are civics? What does civics mean?
yes,
He says, by civics, I simply mean the art of being a pro-social,
Yes,
problem-solving contributor
yes.
in a self-governing community. So how do we build a community where the sense of ownership is not what Owen was asking? That I own this community because I'm part of it. I own this country because I'm part of it. I own this mentorship program because I'm part of it. And this civics is the art of citizenship. What Bill Gates Sr. calls simply showing up for life.
Simply showing up for life.
Yeah. So if you can show up for life, and what does it encompass? It encompasses a foundation of values, an understanding of the systems that make the world go round, and a set of skills that allow you to pursue goals and to have others join in that pursuit. So how best can we understand the values? So if you guys were talking about property this morning, was it property?
Yeah.
What were you talking about in the morning?
First of all, I think it was just a general discussion about what is property, what it means to be, when someone says, I possess something,
Yes.
this is my property.
So let's say we wanted to have a community of shared understanding on property and ownership. Where would we start? After today.
Personally, I think, the first thing that we would need to understand is to know, what property is and if you really own any property. Because from the discussion that we have and from the teachings that we keep on, getting to know about, everyone has a property within himself. Which means the thing that you possess, the thing that we inherit, the things that we're born with, those are your property. You can actually use those things to the benefit of others. It also goes on to state that, anything that you put value to, anything that gives value.
So
is property.
let's say we are friends of property and we start an association called the 1873 Friends of Property. If I don't understand it, how can I be a friend of it?
If I don't understand it, how can I be a friend of it? Because I actually tweeted when the breakfast show was live, and there were very interesting pointers that everyone shared.
Okay.
And one was that just because you possess something, it doesn't mean that you own it.
No, but what is, before you even read other people, what is your understanding from today's conversation in the morning? What is your take home? That you can share and say, like Igu Naran is saying, what are shared interests? Yeah. So let's say property. We are all interested in having a better relationship with this human being called property. What kind of a human being is it? Blacks say we have a bad relationship with it, and some say it's bad because they are white. If whites had never come to Africa, we will have a best relationship with this elephant in the room called property. Some say the property that was created outside our knowledge ought to be ours. They say land, minerals, even timber, it's ours. The water is ours. There are wars that are fought. So what is property? And Igu Naran says the collaborative economy must incorporate mutual benefits. So again, how do we have a collaborative economy? We are building communities. So first, what did you learn? If we're going to create an association, some people call black first, land first. What are they saying?
Segregation.
So basically, when they say black first and then first, what they're simply saying that they are entitled to
Get and own.
because of their race.
No. What, have you been to their website?
No, I haven't been to.
So why would you not Google? Why do you not search the information and be lazy and interpret what they are saying when the information is available? So you can what?
Sure.
You can share. And Naran, we see your typos. You are only human. So if you miss the typos, you're okay. So property. Do you have a better understanding?
We don't have a shared understanding for starters, of what property is.
Okay,
And,
but maybe we can start with you
Yes.
to say what is your understanding after today's show?
After today's show, what I understood to be property is basically the rules governing access to land, as well as mineral resources and control of other mineral or material resources.
Okay, so intellectual is not resources. You have used land.
Intellectual, it
No, you have used land as what?
as a
But what is land?
land.
Mm.
For me, what I've learned on the breakfast show,
Yeah.
right? What I take home. Number
Yeah.
one, I like the question that was posed. What is property? We're still finding out. Number two, who has a better claim to it? And this boils down to the 30% quota to say.
No, I'm saying before we even go there, I cannot have a better relationship or something I don't understand.
So now we're dissecting property together.
No. First, let's understand what it is. If we are going to be a friend of it or an enemy of it, I can't have 30% of something that doesn't exist.
Let's
What-
find
what
the meaning
is it?
of property? Can I read it out from
Yeah.
Google? Property, a thing or things belonging to someone, possessions.
So let's go to belonging.
collectively.
What does belonging mean?
Something that was vested in you.
How can property that itself is separate from me
It cannot
be capable of what? Of having an existence of belonging?
But synonym are possessions, belongings, things, goods.
No, things. What are these things? What is property? So what kind of relationship? When you say my wife belongs to me, what does it mean?
Property.
I think it's just a matter of.
Huh?
property.
Yeah?
I think it's an issue where
And my children belong to me. What?
Your property.
You have a right.
No. I mean, have you ever seen somebody says, "These are my children"? Yes. Yeah. But someone goes further and say they belong to me.
It's my property.
Yeah? Have you ever said that? Heard that? Yeah? Or someone getting angry
It's my property.
that you are my wife. I said jump. He says why? How can you say why when I paid lobola?
you are my wife. You belong to me.
Yeah.
Oh my
Huh?
God, it boils down to what we're talking about today. Actually, the clip that one of the members shared with regards to your peppers. The moment you do something, basically the question was, how do you know that you're doing something right? And that you have the right job, you have the right friends? And Melissa, on Super Soul Sunday, she said that the moment you feel like you're betraying yourself, from there on, when you feel like you are depleting something from your spirit, then it is wrong. And the second meaning of property is an attribute, exactly what you were talking about, actually similar, an attribute, quality, or characteristic of something. And this
That's
whole-
what I'm saying is we are trying to come with the 1873 definition.
So,
so-
now let's come up with it.
No, I'm saying is that's the conversation. You guys were part of a show where you're interrogating this idea, but you can't defend it the same day. Even before the cock what?
Before the
Cross.
I think Mr. Moiri, you asked a very fundamental question pertaining to whether intellectual is not property. It is property.
So what is property? You used land. You says what?
I use land. I also use material resources.
Yeah, but what you're saying, the rules governing what?
The control, the access.
Access. So the one is access.
Yes.
So if I can deny you access, then there is something there. But can I deny you access of zero?
No, you cannot.
Because there's nothing.
Because there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
So can I protect something?
That you don't.
That
doesn't
is
exist.
that doesn't
You
exist.
can't protect, it's like trying to protect air.
Yeah.
If you not touch it.
Yeah. So imagine this country, imaginary country, with a lot of stones that some people call diamonds. Hmm? And then someone says, I want to protect them.
This is my property.
While you're protecting, what are you going to eat?
Nothing.
Huh?
Because you're protecting.
You know, it blends in nicely because I actually saw a question on Facebook from one of our mentees, and I remembered what the Prince said on the Breakfast Show. Remember, Tinashe? And he spoke about vanity, to say you must forgive yourself, because I understand that obviously a lot of mentees are like, oh my God, I don't have this, I can't raise funds, I have this kind of problems. But now we're saying, okay, fine, let's be part of, the problem solvers. And he focused on the word vanity. It boils down to the fact that if you're a person, you as being, you need to let go of blame and shame. But vanity, he explained it, and then we looked at it actually on Google. The first meaning is excessive pride in or admiration of one's own appearance or achievements. But there's another one. This is the first meaning. But the second one that people don't take care of.
But what
is
point?
the
What point
quality.
are you making in relation to friends of property?
The point that I'm making is that because the second meaning is the quality of being worthless or futile, and people don't experience it. And there are a lot of people who feel worthless, useless, and
But
futile.
who's talking about? We are talking about property.
I'm linking it with that.
Because where is the link now?
Now the link is that a lot of people perhaps who want to invest and they want to know more about property, and they want to know more about even self-property, which is yourself.
No, we're trying
but
to
they
get to
don't
the
know how
to the philosophy, the ideas around property. So first, abstract yourself from what you think property is to a mind that wants to understand what property is and is not. Yeah. The moment we go in now to what you think it is, yeah, because people think a house, this is that, yeah,
That's
and we have not understood what property is and what value property has in the affairs of men. Yeah.
because you're
Ego says ego is the enemy. Airbnb, what do they own? Again, we are dealing with what? We are dealing with the conceptual things. First, we must understand it. Then we must build a community around people who want to understand this idea of property. If you are out there and you are watching and you are interested in being part of a community that wants to understand property, improve the relationship with property, please do say yes on the Facebook page. Don't be shy to be part of the conversation, and for you to be able to assist others who may not understand it. You have countries where people say, I gave you land, I gave you the right to mine, and I think you're talking about the mining charter. There are many things that compound the problem. Some people live in the mountain, some people in the valley. And the relationship between property in life, between one individual and another, there's no explanation, there's no closure. The rich become subjected to a lot of bad names and say, well, why did you become rich when I'm poor? Or I'm poor because you are rich. Imagine that argument.
Doesn't work.
Does that person know what property is for them to say you are rich because I'm poor? Or I was colonized, that's why I'm poor?
It's not very much.
Or the ghosts of yesterday are what is destroying the possibilities that I can what?
It's for the right.
Yeah. So those who are interested in building a community of shared values or shared interest around this idea called property and ownership. So the first thing is, how do we perfect our understanding? You guys at the radio show, but I'm still not getting what is the take-home issue.
So what is property according to you, Mr. M?
I'm saying you at the show. Yeah.
So that we
And you are now communicating. If you are going to tweet, you are going to share, you are already on social media. There are people all over the world who are looking at you and say, talk to me.
We want to understand
What is it
property
that,
is.
what is it that you discussed today that would lead me to stop and thinking? Yeah. But who has the right and who is granted rights to property? That's again in the Airbnb. So I think Naran is trying to what? To focus on a different way. I think let's go beyond Airbnb and look at this construct called property. What is it? And what did Locke say about the human being? He said, though what? Though the earth,
And all inferior creatures.
yeah. So though the earth and all inferiors, yeah, are common to all men, yet, yeah,
Yet every man is a property.
in his person. So in your person there is something of value, and that's property. So anything, a thing of value needs protection. So that thing of value, I can't go to the mountain and claim that value that I didn't add anything to. If I take an orange from the forest and I take it to a public place where other people who may want it and they have to pay for it, then by taking it from its native form, I've added value to it. So the orange that you see in the marketplace is no longer an orange because it has been already touched by human in the effort. Whether it's carrying it to a place where it's exposed, whether it is by default, but the orange on its tree, it will perish on its own. That they call it perishable, is it? So one day it is value, and if it's not consumed within a period of time, that value will waste. Diamonds in rocks can never be acceptable value. I can't call it value. Land that is naked like any human being.
Which is not productive.
No, land on its own that has not been touched by a human being.
There's no value.
There's no value.
It is value, it's property in its own. But I can't exclude you. But the moment I put title, deeds, I have if you look at 1873 as Africa, did we have a minister of land? Or we inherited a colonial administration and superimposed a minister of land? There was land, but it didn't fit into the rules that you are talking about. That governed access to it. Anyone could just say, I'm hungry today. I've walked too far. I'll build where I've arrived. So it's more expensive for me to go back.
Let me just do it here.
Yeah. Then from there, I become a nomad. I keep on moving. So I don't have a permanent structure. The moment you start defining land and giving it rights, square meters, square foot, it's no longer land.
It's now property.
It's now property. But For you to have property, somebody must have given it for free. Because imagine we had to buy all these fruits of creation. Where would we start? And appropriate the fruits of creation to ourselves. I say it's my iron ore. Who are you? Huh?
Entitlement.
So even the clothes that I wear, the only thing I can do is stop you from using them. But if I die, I have no mechanism of stopping you. I can't call it theft.
The moment you become incapacitated.
Yeah.
The clothes mean nothing. And the car means nothing to you. But it's still property. But I have a right to say, don't use it. And there are rules that govern that access and control. So when I say right, title, and interest, I don't mean possession. I can drive a car that is rented.
Yes.
You will not know the difference between that and the car that is what?
That is fully paid for.
Fully. Or even stolen.
Even.
The object will be there. And I will still qualify for possession. Because I'm driving it.
Yes.
You don't own it, you drive.
But how would you tell the difference?
Because when you were speaking, I was actually reminded of the poverty song, that the opposite of poverty is not wealth, it's actually ignorance.
So that's one explanation.
Yes.
But other people say, my friend, don't get carried away. So you're saying that blacks are ignorant.
And
Huh?
it's not even like that, because that's a choice. And again, it will bring.
Can you have a choice to be ignorant?
People, you choose. Because
No, let's say
why?
I'm ignorant and I didn't choose my parents and they are rich.
To show me a rich man,
Yeah?
that's a rich son.
So what do you say?
Well, it falls down to free will.
No, I am ignorant, but because of the choices my parents made and they were rich, I become rich because of my parents.
Imagine. And it happens.
Not imagine. I'm saying this. I'll give you a scenario. You have just said that ignorance is the elephant in the room. But is it ignorance? I could meet some girl in an airline, and she's pretty, and I'm Sumner. Is it Repson?
So what?
The owner of Viacom. Yeah?
I don't know.
The old man, 90 something. And he meets a beautiful girl. And she may be dumb. She may be ignorant. She may be stupid, foolish, but she's pretty. And what this billionaire sees is this property.
And it happens.
And he's not looking for brains.
Yeah.
He's just looking for property.
No, he's looking for a what property. And that's what it
But it does happen actually. That is why, like, we're saying that it boils down to free will. Somebody actually once said to me, ignorance is not bliss until you meet your counterparts. You might think that it is bliss, but until you meet your counterparts, and now you have to engage in certain conversations and you have no opinion whatsoever.
So-
and it will, yeah.
So what we need is to what? To talk to ourselves and see what property is. So for anyone out there who is interested in being part of this conversation, please say yes. Igunaran, are you interested in being part of a broader conversation dealing with these aspects that we normally take for granted? If you are, please let us know so that we build this community of a better understanding together. And some of these issues, nobody has got a monopoly of reason. But it occurs to many that illiteracy around what ownership is and what is not. That's why people say, I want to have 30% of your sweat, of your property that is embedded in your person, Imagine you work so hard only to arrive at a destination where there's harvest. And a guy comes there and says, look at me. Do you know who I am? I am entitled to 30% of your harvest because of what I look like. Because your forefathers, not the people who planted the seed, that because of what happened 300 years ago, you now must give up 30% of the fruits of your labor to create this just society, to create this inclusive society, to have inclusive growth. What would you do? You are in music and you work hard behind the scenes. You produce a song. It's like Itinashi yesterday, the song that we drafted here. Someone has protected it. And knowing that it was not a song.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you can't get access to your own words. Somebody
Protected it.
has registered it as his, which is theft of property. And the person says,
Property.
you wrote it, it was your thinking, but now it's mine. But the process of the common ignorance becomes a smart outcome. How does it work? So this is one of the challenges that we face. So when you do mentorship, even the mentees, they have to understand, because they want to have a better relationship with property. They don't want to know the mentor. They want their lives to be better than what it was before. And if that is the case, we have to better understand this construction called value and create value-centric models.
Very inclusive.
No, they can't be inclusive because your value is embedded in you. I can't add values and make you somebody that you are not. You are not a group, so you are alone. So if you are alone and you want to get ahead, you know you have to cooperate with others, but remain yourself. And how do you become a common and become uncommon at the same time? That is the challenge of life,
Common at the same time.
to be part of this common humanity, yet stand out. What would you need to do to be that? How do we build communities in the words of Eric Lu? At first, I must be pro-social.
Yes.
So it means on Friday, thank you, we're talking about inviting people. How many people have responded to that? Have you done the roll call?
Pardon?
Since Friday, we invited people to come and join this community of mentorship. How many have said yes?
A lot.
No, a lot is not an answer. Community builders will be able to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and not allow tomorrow to be tomorrow, because tomorrow is another day where I increase. So I say, as of Friday, those who confirmed, how many are they?
Now in counting, it's 8. The ones that I remember on top of
No,
my
no,
head.
12.
No,
You were at 12.
no. If you look at which Facebook page were you looking at?
We're looking at the WhatsApp as well. Not on my
No, the Facebook page where we send to the public domain. How many people?
Wise.
No.
We can count now.
Not can. If I have not counted, am I a community builder?
No.
So the first thing is, you spend Friday, Saturday. At no stage do you say, guys, if I can't measure, I can't manage.
If you can't measure, you can't manage.
So everything that you are talking about is politics. It's not substance. Because if you wanted to build a community, it's one person at a time. How many people have said yes? if I go to my wall, what I was expecting is that I'm surrounded by people who want to go somewhere. But what am I surrounded by? By people who want to remain where they are. You see, just look, when was it? Friday?
I think it boils down to what you said tonight. You remember the breakfast show? That it should be about value proposition.
No, but it's not what he said, it's what he does.
I know that. I'm not just
You
saying
see, right
while
now-
you're looking. What-
No, but this is the most important thing, to count people. Yeah. That's property. Once you have added value to the names of the people who have said yes, it means you have done something. But if you have not done so, is that, Leroy, can you say you're doing something?
Leroy is nodding.
No? I'm saying is, if you have the list of the people, on Friday, there were 20 people. Saturday, I don't know. Then Monday, I'm talking about community.
Community building.
Huh? Do you think it makes sense? If you are interested, here's 22, is it? Yeah. Kangyo doesn't know that.
But the captain, I mean, they're adding.
No, I'm saying is, if it's not done,
Then it defeats the purpose.
then whatever we are doing will not result in anything. Because the people who have said yes are the people we must be looking to and saying, this is 66 people. Anyone interested in converting social media connections into net worth through mentorship, please indicate below by shouting why. And how many have indicated? 66. But you have no one, you know them. And you want to be desire. You see, there is Leroy, he says, please register. Ms. G, Letmo, Nyagura, 2 hours ago. So,
Yeah, they keep on.
no, they can't keep on adding on their own without value creation. So what do we need, what do we learn from today?
I've learned as an individual that I need not to wait for someone to get in contact with these guys because they're not going to contact themselves. So I just need to go there on your page, get the people, speak to them.
And start building a database so that you are coordinated. But you may find that Shengi and you are not talking. Shengi is talking to third parties. You are talking to third parties and everybody is going in circles. But among the 4 or 5 people who are here, there is no common purpose.
Shared understanding.
Huh? So it means whatever we are doing will come to pass and will come to waste. Because we are not admitting, because anything, a list of people, the moment I give it character, what does it become? It becomes value. Even followers on Facebook, on Twitter, on Snapchat, that's property. So I'm building property around these people. But I must be able, I can't go to tomorrow's show. I'm adding value to tomorrow's show. And I'm talking again, imagine you say shifting paradigm. When are we going to start shifting when we are not acting the shift? So we are the shifters because we have chosen to change. So it means when I do this, I can't sleep and don't roll call. Imagine I can't be able to count. I'm in a class of 100 people and there's no exam. Then we finish our matric and we are looking at each other and find there's nothing. Imagine a civilization where we can't count. To say, my friend, you are number 3 and you are happy. To say, I'm okay being number 3. Someone says, I'm okay being number 1. And another person says, I'm okay being 100. Number 100. And the results are there for you to see. Because they will be revealed. Every day you'll be able to pick up the numbers that you have done. As you are building up and you are going up, All these people you are meeting, those who are saying yes, they are new what? Bricks to build a foundation for where you're going. But how many of us think it's a joke? So when we talk about property, when you add something even to a list of people and give them character, then you have added property. You now can sell it. That's why data is the biggest business today. It's better than a gold mine. Because imagine everyone who asks for data, what are you asking for? You know, how many of us were asking for airtime? How many today? They know that if I get data, I can be able to communicate, which means the power of voice, the exclusion of voice is no longer the property of choice. The people are able to hold data, to hold database. And if I can hold 2 billion names in my home, I become the largest country in the world. Whether I call it Facebook, I call it Twitter. That's now property. If I can search and I can go when I go to a phone and I search for directions, then someone tell me that data is stored somewhere. That's value. Yesterday we were asking for directions, stop a car and say, where am I going? The people who died 10 years ago, they will not recognize what we are going through. They say, I go to Google, Uber Eats. I can pick up, I can find a taxi. And things were taken for granted. All these things, the same car. But does Uber own a car? But it is property. And it is that property we must worry about. So I think those are the things that we are saying, let's celebrate our understanding of property. Like Google, they've taken all the maps. They have all the addresses. Why do they need those addresses? Because they know without an address, who are we? We're nothing. So I must be able to get this data and take it to the website. Have you joined the 1873 network website?
Yes, I have.
You have registered?
No, I'm registering now.
You see, so since Friday you have not.
It was kicking me out, Mr. Almitra.
No, I'm saying if you're kicked out, you have to get someone to kick you into the community. That's why they say registration. Yeah? That's why they say you must register and be part of a community. So if I'm not a community builder, I will be operating outside the same community that I want to get value from. So where is your new community? Yeah. Are you part of a new community?
Mr. F, in the conversation, let's inform our. One thing that stands out to me because what you said is the fact that I, as a person, need to be pro-social. So do log on to www.they1873network.org and register. Literally watch us live as this is happening. On YouTube, it is 1873 TV, Zimbabwe Today on Facebook, Mutumadi Mawere, the page, and Hlengiwe Amanda H as well, because we shared all of us and be part of the conversation. If you think this is a burning matter or issue, it's going to get more heated because this is our 3rd episode and we're discussing property. And in case you missed the very first one, it is on the website. It's on all social media platforms. We share the links everywhere. So yeah, be part of it and be part of this conversation. It is the Mentee cycle. So yeah.
So I think the community, no, you understand, so tomorrow when we meet, even, the excuse.
Yeah, no excuse.
I don't have a phone. I don't have a. Joining. No. But also you can go to the computer. And
True.
Yeah.
Because registering people more.
And you can go to
Yeah. I'll do it too.
But people.
Solution, right?
Yeah. But people then take all the names of the people who have said yes to the mentorship. So everyone who said yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we do hope by tomorrow we'll have you on the website so that we create this new community where we can talk about these things and understand what property is and what it is not, and how it is transmitted, and how some people seemingly have a better relationship with it and some don't. And when you look at money, even a salary is property because you can convert it into material things. But if you had to use it and you have not earned it, what do you call it? Theft.
Oh, it's that, right?
Yeah.
Property. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's not yours.
So how many employees are thieves?
Lot of people.
Without even hearing
Lot
it.
of-
Huh?
That was my aha moment right there.
Yeah.
Maturity.
Yeah. They go
That's
to work
epiphany.
and they spend the mark time and say, now it's 31st day of the month. And they say, who is going to pay me? But if I was working and creating property for myself, it will be there with the employer. I'm just going to take from the granary, is it? Because I have already earned it. I have been putting inside the common pool. And all I need to do is to draw, to make drawings of my labor. And you will be able to recognize it. So if I have 100 people and they became members of this community and each one paid 1,000 rand to be a member of this community, it means how much would I have to work from? But how many people want other people to be the change? And they are looking at somebody else causing things to happen and they are doing nothing. So when you look at life, it's just simple. What you put in. Nah, but how many people put nothing
Expect something.
and then even misconvey? You know what misconveying is?
I don't even know.
Huh? When you convey,
Get me on that.
when you convey wrongly. Let's say I work for IBM. Huh? Then I go and collect money from what? From McDonald's. McDonald's says, but why am I paying you? Say, because I work for McDonald's, they gave you a computer.
Right, that's right.
McDonald's is just saying, how many burgers did you sell, my friend?
Totally good work.
That's what you must focus on. We are in the business of selling chicken, beef, and bread and potatoes. But we cut them our way. We cook them our way.
And we call them
And you have to pay the bacon, lettuce, tomato. You can buy it. You can go to your garden. But it's not McDonald's. What you eat at McDonald's is value.
Yeah, actually.
What you sell is value.
We have been
That's
tested
now
today.
property. So when you convey, you can't work for somebody or for a company and not have a relationship with the company. You must have a relationship with the company. That relationship must be mutual. I give and I take.
Give and take.
But if I take,
I don't give.
Give.
I have not given.
It's nothing.
Then I come to the boss and I cry in the morning and say, but my friend, why are you not giving me value? You have seen me every day.
I've been coming.
I've been coming and you have seen me. How can how can you be so how can you be so cruel that you see me but you don't see me? I said no, I see a body.
I just see the value.
I don't see value.
I don't see property in the body.
I see the body.
Can you convert your body into property?
That's a
Then let's talk property what? To property.
value
Cash
for value for value.
to cash. In form of property. But if you intimidate me by your body or by who you are, then it's no longer exchange. It's now, have you seen me? Then I have to check my eyes. And one day I'm blind. I can't see you. But I have to see value.
Yeah, true. It's funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, for me, one thing that stands out with regards to what you say, it's two things. Number one, the fact that I as a person need to be pro-social. Number two, how many of us are actually practicing or doing theft property without even knowing? That was my aha moment. Like I always say, it's one thing talking about things and sharing my opinion is uhleniwe, but it's another to be shifted, because as a human being I need to grow, and I also need to be shifted in the process while I also impart knowledge and information. So I had my epiphany today.
Okay, we have Kenelwe Manda. Best way to build a community, I think, there are many ways. One cannot put one suggestion above another in my community. I feel we don't identify with one another. So I think by identifying what the people of the community like to do, in that you create a community that meets for the activity, for that activity. So this would form a community that meets socially, so they'll be able to relate in other affairs. No, you are right, Kanelwe. The only problem is the human mind is so difficult to read. I don't know whether you find it easy. Because all these are human beings that are very stubborn. What is in the mind you can't know.
Yes.
And those with interests that are shared, they don't say it. So how do you know what somebody is thinking without them volunteering their thinking? Yeah. So please, don't remain outside the World Wide Web, is it?
Yes.
That's true.
It was
Because that was
created to
very
be inclusive, so that there's no barrier. All you need is what? Username and password. Yes. And you enter the community.
Then you start connecting.
Yeah. Then imagine I've entered. Then I'm what? With what this what's it? Huh? Live. What am I saying? What am I saying? Hey, look at me. I'm alive. But long road to poverty. But I look,
Long walk to bank to the
and I am not. What is the content that we are putting in our communities? You find there's no property in it. It's actually nuisance. And we know that. But we are the one who's loading data. Imagine I borrow data. Give me data to pump, what you call sewage. The same pipe brings what? The same pipe brings what? Waste. And I call it the new world. And this is the new world that we are creating. And what are we putting in that world? So you guys have learned something today, so fundamental, so divisive. Property is one thing that has led people to kill each other. Robbers come and they look for the best property they know best is cash. When they take goods from you, their intention is not to use them, but to sell them, to convert them into cash. So imagine you are the ATM of the future. And whatever you have can be converted to cash. And you don't understand this animal called property. That it doesn't have legs. That it visits and knocks. And say, I've arrived, I'm property. Thank you. Yeah. Your dress is what? Is property. But can it come with legs? I mean, on its own?
No, you have to work for it.
No, just to be in your body. It has come and it visits you. And you say, thank God.
You just said, imagine you are the ATM of the future. What was the
Because people are looking for value from you, because now the world has changed. We now have plastic money. So thieves have to find a way of getting your PIN number
and getting your card.
and getting your get.
Your card remains.
Or they say, my friend, let's leave home. Let's go. Can Can you transfer while I'm looking? Go to your.
Go to your village banking.
Because they are always also devising new ways
Yeah.
of this affirmative action. So that is the. So on that note, do you have Oscar? Do you understand it?
True.
Okay.
True.
Okay. So what do you take home?
What I take home is that property, first of all, the first property that you have is within you,
Yeah.
and no one can take it away from you.
Yeah.
It's something that is inherent, and property doesn't just come out of the blues. It's something that is worked for. Its value in motion, wherever it is.
And you in desire, you say you can't divest and deprive. What do you mean?
I think it's something that that cannot be taken away from you. Something that stays within you.
So the proper inside you, that power to say Friday, I must have the list. Sunday, because I want to build and invent a bank of hope. When I build a new bank, it is not geographic. It is global. It is borderless. Where is this bank? So when True Web are performing, they are performing to a faceless, nameless audience. But I will have done something to create this same address. So when we are talking about this property, this word property ownership, you may find that that's where we miss each other with white people if we call them white. But these are just human beings. That other people say anything of value must be, is it socialized? You know what it means?
Socialized.
Yeah. But let's go to the state of nature. And they have common access. Imagine I have common access to your house. Yeah? And then we're now a group of people at Marikana and say, guys, we're not playing football now. We have machetes, punkers. And we're saying now it's not, if I can't get what I want, nobody can work there. So when you employ the person, he told you he got property, and the property was worth 10,000 rand per month. All of a sudden, now I make profits. They say, my property has gone up. You say, where did the hours come from? I'm still doing 8 hours, but the price of gold has gone up. The workers say, no, I want to participate in the upside. What would you do? And they want to kill you. You stole our minerals. You say, but where were they when I was stealing? Because whatever I'm stealing, how you feel the loss. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah? How is this theft possible? When I don't feel it while we are mining the gold, like I'm in this studio, somebody is extracting ore, converting it into gold, and I'm not there. But all of a sudden I feel an injury. It's somebody stepping on your toe in Australia, then here, by osmosis or diffusion, I find myself in pain. So why are you in pain? Because in Australia something happened.
Somebody stepped on my foot.
Somebody stepped on the foot, but we are injured. That our forefathers were injured, and therefore we're claiming.
On their behalf.
Yeah, and I call it economic freedom. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
So we can do the last one. I think for people who want to be mentees, I think you now know what you need to do. We are closing. And Oscar, you can come in. Is it, what is this property? Is it the property one? So which property?
That's all.
The Equality song has a part that talks about property on his verse. And then, yeah. On his verse, because it's talking about the same thing. That's something that is. Yes.
What is the song about?
The song is about equality and talking about that all men by nature.
So if you guys first, those who are afraid to ask, where are you located?
www.
No, physical. If they want to come and see you perform, where do they go? They go to heaven.
No, Rivonia.
Where's that?
Rivonia Boulevard in Centon.
Number
325.
25.
African
Okay.
Heritage Society
African
building.
Heritage Society building.
AHS.
325 Rivonia Boulevard in Rivonia, St.
Okay, so when are you going
In
to
heaven.
when are you going to play for these people? Anyone interested after they sing this song, please do register yourself, and you can inbox, you can talk to them. Do you have a
Facebook page.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah.
Where people can register?
Yeah, we do have, just get in touch with us on our Facebook page, Truva Music, and you can also get in touch with us at the 1873
Network. And what is the URL address?
www.the1873network.org.
Okay.
It's like
So,
pre-primary.
I hope Simba knows with the GPS. Maybe he needs an Uber.
He doesn't know the address yet.
Sorry. But the shade today though. Shade like this.
Alright. Okay, so let's hear the. If you like these guys, put a vote. First, your first vote is for the message. If you believe that the message speaks to you, please rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. If you believe that the voice is something that you want to associate yourself or torture your ears with, you can also rate from 1 to 10. And if you believe that they work as a team, that is already a community that is in song, then please do rate them. If you find a woman's voice, it just knows that men can also be women.
Testing out.
This is the app today you are explaining.
Just,
What did you eat today? You are like this.
and just to add on to the topic that was there today, connecting it with the song that we're going to sing about equality, that all men by nature are equally free and independent. To say that the property that you have within you, you have the full rights to extend it to do whatever you want to do. Everything that you have worked for, it belongs to you. So no one can intimidate you and tell you that, you know, this space is not yours when you've worked for it. So what we're simply saying is that we are all equal. Everything that has been given, John Locke says that the world has been made common to all men, but for those who work towards achieving or attaining it or extracting something from it, it belongs to them immediately after they work towards having that. So we're simply saying that all men by nature are equally free and independent, and it doesn't belong to only one person. All men by nature, all men. All men by nature are equally free and independent, and have certain inherent
Rights of which they cannot deprive
all
all
men by nature are equally free and independent, free and independent. All men by nature are equally free and independent, and have certain inherent
rights of which they cannot deprive
all
all
men by nature, free and independent, free and independent. Imagine being asked to put words to a declaration of independence. independence of man. Where would I start? I will not have a choice, got to start with understanding the true design and operation of life. Yes, in me I will end like Jefferson did in 1776, that the equality of man is never a gift, no penalty, no, 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 no. Yes, all men by nature are equally free and independent, and have certain inherent
Rights of which they cannot
deprive all men by nature, free and independent, free and independent.
After finding similar human experiments, we found it on the idea that the enjoyment of life ought to be universal. The liberty can be divisible into black and white, and that the means of acquiring and possessing property can be race-centric, and obtaining and issuing happiness and prosperity could be prescribed on racial grounds. No, 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 no.
All men by nature are equally free and independent, and have certain inherent
Rights of which they cannot deprive
all
all
our
others.
men by nature, free and independent, free and independent. Conscious about the truth, minded like 1963. California, trying to turn the world in the following words. During my lifetime, I fought for the struggle. I see Africa. I have fought against the black domination. Yes. I have fought against the white domination.
Yes, brother.
I have fought against the black domination. I have fought against the white domination. All men by nature are equal. Everybody, let's go.
Yes.
Free and independent. All men by nature are equally free and independent. Free and independent. One voice, Simba, let's go with this one. All men by nature are equally free and independent, and have certain inherent rights of which they cannot deprive all others. Equally free and independent. Woo! Free and independent.
It's a show.
That was.
I give you guys 9.9.
So you know what we do now?
Yeah.
What we say after the show, we say this, Simba. Simba,
Yeah.
we've come to the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
Although we've come to the end of this show, still I can't let it go. It's so natural. It belongs to me, and we belong to you. See you tomorrow.
Beautiful. I give you 9.9999. The 0.1 is for
Actually,
improvement.
it's my idea though.
It's your idea.
Yeah, but you need to register on the website.
Wow.
So, alright. I will today.
To the viewers out there,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Sure.
for tuning in to the
For sure.
1873 TV. Follow us on Twitter as well as Facebook,
Yeah, baby.
and also go to www.the1873network.org and sign up for membership there.
Yes.
It's free to sign up on the website. Then connect with other individuals. You can also connect with this gentleman
Yeah.
who just gave you that rendition.
True, but music. There's 3 things that I learned. What I like about today, right, Mr. M, is the fact that I got shifted.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, because I can do this over and over again, but if I don't have that aha or epiphany, then it defeats the purpose. Number 1, transforming all the people that said yes on Facebook to data and making sure that we convert that. Number 2, the fact that I, as Uhlengwe, need to be pro-social. And that led me to one thing, one of the videos that we played by Prince EA. He said that we talk about the friend zone and this different zone and family zone and whatever zone that you can think of, but nobody, and I mean nobody, talks about the comfort zone, because a lot of us are trapped there. So don't be that person who's trapped in the comfort zone. For you not to be trapped there, association, network, associate,
Bye-bye.
associate, associate, man.
And with that,
No, I think we should thank you for giving us a beautiful summary.
yes, absolutely.
Because sometimes people don't listen, and when you come back tomorrow, we repeat the same
Same
words.
thing over
The
and
same
over.
And I think there was somebody who's also just sent a note. It's the same challenge that we face, which is we have people who have. I think there's a lot that takes place in people's minds,
Yeah.
and we never capture it correctly. There's what's his name? Let me just read so that we don't gloss over. Kingston Simkaijo. I think by being truthful or being factual as leaders helps.
Yeah.
He's already putting some people as leaders. As leaders helps. You cannot support people or policies that destroy the economy and expect people to be united. Again, he's putting the assignment of responsibility,
On other
culpability
On the other
on the leaders. And he's saying that I don't need I'm just a follower. If things go wrong, it's in the cockpit. It's the pilot's problem. As a leader, you should learn to listen to what the majority is saying. How big should my ears be to listen?
40 million voices.
Yeah. Including dogs that bark as well. I have to listen. So how, Kingston, what exactly do you expect this human being called a leader? What kind of ears do you give him? And be careful not to take common people as stupid. The stupidity is not a creation of man. If you are stupid, just admit I'm stupid and work on it. But please don't make stupidity a common problem or less than yourself. There is nobody who is less than another.
Anyone.
You are already stocked with what you need. Even if you are challenged visually, don't think you're blind. Mentorship is great, but I'm afraid more often than not we choose the wrong mentors. In fact, you must be lucky to abuse somebody as a mentor. It is those who want to be cured that need a doctor. Those who are not sick, they really don't need to know what a doctor looks like. It is those in pain that need healing. But if you know where you are going and you are confident about it and you know you can do it without getting the instrumentality of others, please, mentorship is not for you. Never say but. There is nobody who needs a leader. We elect human beings and they remain human after election. So I told him, please name and shame those you think have betrayed your trust. But if you have not deposited any trust in anybody, please don't call other people what they are not. Let us not speak in tongues. So Kingston, please just be a king There's a
Your
big
name.
stone.
I don't know what is the FA today, but whatever it is, no, it gave us a super great show.
Yeah.
Very insightful.
Okay, I think for viewers out there, the next step, please, if you like True Verb, please say so. If you like to be a community builder and you're an activist, please act. Don't threaten to act. So that when we meet tomorrow's show, please shape it and define it by being part of it. Do write, register on the website, express yourself, whether it's on Facebook, and you can touch somebody and tell somebody about what you heard tonight. And you can get the video on Zimbabwe Today, on all the 1873 network website.
www.the1873network.org.
Thank you.
Goodbye.